What up, y'all? It is your boy Darius. I'm back with another brand new episode of What Happened. So we're gonna go back to the '90s. So we're gonna go over this beat right here particularly. So if you see the title picture, this one says Tupac versus JayZ. What happened? So I want to go over the history, and then towards the end, I get my thoughts about this whole situation. So sit back, relax, y'all. Let's get this thing going. So when Tupac got out of prison due his bid with this sexual assault charges, Tupac was signed to Death Row, and he would start working his next studio album, All Eyes on Me. But he had a diss track going at Biggie and Bad Boys. So Tupac really hit him up when he went at Biggie and Bad Boys and Mobb Deep. Now, for what I read, there was like an original version of Hit 'Em Up when he did JayZ. Now, I couldn't find the video for it, but according to Edie Means from the Outlet said there was an original version that came out. What we hear now. So JayZ was a new artist, trying to get in the rap game. Released his debut album, Reason But Doubt. And according to the Napoleon, was sparked the beat between Tupac and JayZ. JayZ had Biggie in the video of Dead Presidents, and it would play Monopoly, and he said want that West Coast money. So I'm gonna show you the video of that. So check it out.
Alright now, it's fitting that we all playing games here, being that we all players, you know. Monopoly is a perfect game for us, you know. You know somebody land on your property, they gotta pay, you know what I'm saying? So you know what we gonna do, man? We gonna stop this game, man. We gonna play for real, man. Let's get it on, man. Now let's lock this all down.
Yeah, I like that. Now you talking something. What up, just about it, man.
That's mine. Let's bring it together. Let's get it together. Let's get real.
Alright, that's looking real good.
You know where to go.
So that fueled the fire of Tupac. So JayZ had a song called Brooklyn's Finest with Biggie. And on Biggie's verse, he said, if I had two faces, she would have two Tupac twins. So that kind of rubbed Tupac the wrong way. So Tupac's mind, he felt JayZ was signed with Biggie, even though he wasn't, but still Tupac felt some type of way about that. So Tupac, on his Machiavelli album, he had a song called Bomb First when he did JayZ. So check it out what he's saying that.
But of Death Row Records as well. Nas, the alleged ringleader of the Furious and Tupac's, Machiavelli's verbal assault on Mob Sleep, Notorious P.I.G., and several other New York rappers. JayZ, from Hawaiian Sophie fame, Big Little Whatever.
Let's get high and ride. Oh, how we do these niggas for them not gon' cry. I'm a bad boy killer. JayZ got to looking out for my.
So yeah, so after that song came out, everybody wanted if JayZ's gonna respond. So JayZ wasn't saying any of that. So according to Napoleon, he did an interview as what sparked the beat between Tupac and JayZ, and basically said that he had a song with Biggie on the Brooklyn's Finest and of course the Dead President video. So I'm gonna show you what he said in his interview. So check it out.
You know, the reason why Pac dissed JayZ, a lot of people need to know this because they want to make it seem like Pac was just a bully. You know, JayZ did a record with Dr. Dre. With Biggie. JayZ did a video with Biggie, and in the video they was playing Monopoly, and you hear JayZ look at Biggie like, man, we need some of that West Coast money out there. It's a lot of money on the West Coast, and like, yeah, we're gonna take it. But the different song when Biggie said, if Faith had, twins, she would have two Pacs. Both of these incidents, came across Pac radar. So he said, now JayZ involved in it. That's how Pac was, They were just good at, you got to understand, the PR, whoever they had on the East Coast PR team, they were just good to make it seem like Pac was the bully and they was the nice guys. They did a real good job with that. You know what I mean? They did a real good job to make it seem like Pac was just attacking everyone. But no, he had a reason. Everyone he dissed, every song that he talked about somebody, Pac was reacting.
What was Tupac's reaction when he first heard Brooklyn Finance and the line Biggie made about him and Faith Evans?
I think when it got back to him, I never heard him playing a record, but I think it got back to him, and that's why he said they talking slick. JayZ and them talking slick, and Pac would go straight to his reaction was in the studio. He'd go right to the studio. You know what I mean? That's why he was doing so many songs attacking him. It wasn't for no reason. It didn't come out the blue. they attacked Pac first. JayZ dissed him first, and he reacted. You know, what JayZ didn't say nothing verbally about Pac, but allowing Biggie to say, you know, that on his song, Pac look at it like, well, you part of it as well. You know, I have respect for JayZ, and I'll tell you why. Because, you know, after Pac died, I still had a mentality where I don't like nobody that Pac didn't like. I never heard a Biggie record in my life.
So yeah, so once they did that, according to DJ Clark Kent, JayZ has a response track of it, but he did an interview about the situation. So I'm gonna show you what he's saying that, and then we're gonna get Napoleon respond to DJ Clark Kent's comment and say that JayZ had a response track to Tupac. They say it wouldn't come back from that. So check out what they say now. So yeah, so DJ Clark Kent did an interview. So this is what he said. Speaking of JayZ's plan to respond on a Waste of Time podcast, DJ Clark Kent previously admitted that it never came out of respect to the fact that he died. Jay did a record going that pop, but as it was about to come out, Son died. We performed it though, but we performed it once, and you have to understand the chip on Jay's shoulder is so crazy, just like he had to perform it. So yeah, and Napoleon asked respond what DJ Clark Kent said. So yeah.
Pac, and get your opinion.
Jay did a record going at Pac, but right as it was about to come out, Son died.
Wow.
We performed it though.
Yeah. Where'd you perform it?
Performed it once, and you have to understand, like, the chip on Jay's shoulder is so crazy that it's just like he had to perform it. We was at the Apollo.
Wow.
He was at the Apollo and he performed it, and it was scathing. Like, crowds was like, "Oh shit!" Like, it was super hard.
Wow.
Super hard. Like, if he was alive, there would have been no coming back. Like, nothing.
Like going into like super ugly territory?
No. This was so tough. Like, it, to me, it probably was like one of the hardest diss records I've ever heard. It's because we were like, what the fuck we got to do about this with this shit? Why you, you know what I'm saying? And oh boy.
When's the last time you heard it?
We only heard it maybe like 3 or 4 times. We heard it before when it was made, and then we heard it at the show, and then it went away.
Wow. So you don't actually like have a copy of it?
Super tough, huh?
You don't actually have a copy of it?
I didn't want a copy.
I
didn't
it's
want a copy
radioactive?
because I know I would have been compelled to figure out how to play it.
So that's the interview. He said that JayZ, he had a Tupac diss record. He performed it at the Apollo, but he never came out with it because Tupac died. How you feel about that?
It just shows that he really trying to put fuel on the fire, because if JayZ did a diss record, which he probably did, you understand, hip hop, that's what happened. You're gonna meet Nas did a diss record, but when Pac died, out of respect, he didn't release it. You know what I mean? That's respect. That's what happened. And I'm sure Pac, if he was alive, he was expecting some type of records coming at him. That's how it works in hip hop. But for him to say, I'm gonna figure a way to put it out, it just shows you that he didn't respect JayZ, you know what I mean? And that he trying to put the fuel on the fire. That's why I said, once again, these guys are like, they from like the suburbs or something. They don't really understand, you know, our culture, it seemed like. You know, it just like, you know, because people that knows what could happen, like JayZ, I'm sure the reason why he didn't put it out, because he knew it was going to put fuel on the fire. You know, it's going to make things worse. Because JayZ really come from the inner cities. He really seen what happened. He was mature enough to not do it. You know, you got to respect that. The same with Nas. But this guy, Clark Kent, I guess he just want to be, I guess he probably wanted to be famous because of that. You know what I mean? Just, some people weird, bro.
For the people out there that don't know, right, what was Tupac's issue with JayZ?
I think Pac's issue was with JayZ. He thought JayZ was dissing him. And he thought, I think Biggie did his song with JayZ where he said if Faith had twins, she would have had 2 Pacs or something like that. And it was on the JayZ album. So Pac really felt like, okay, like you allow him to come at me on your record. So that's when he started going after him.
And Pac, he seen some videos that Jay was in, right, that he didn't like.
oh yeah, it was a video. They was playing like Monopoly or something, and he was like, "There's a lot of West Coast money on the West Coast. We coming after that money." Like, so JayZ was actually putting himself in the middle of the East Coast West Coast beef with these songs and stuff like that. And it was fair play because if that's your if you Biggie homie, you know what I mean. But out of respect, I respect people like that. That they like Pac. You know what I mean. When he met Nas, I know we mentioned this in another interview. He told Nas, "I have records dissing you, but I'm going to remove them because that's a respectful thing." But unfortunately, he died and he wasn't able to do it. So for JayZ to show that respect, it shows a little bit about who he is. Because I'm sure if he would have put out a diss record, he probably would have made a lot of money. He probably would have sold records. Nas did the same thing. Because real people that come from like the hood that know these things, they won't be thinking like a Clark Kent. You know what I mean? The guy sound like like you know what I mean? It doesn't sound like he's in touch with reality. Why put it out? You know what I mean? Pac is dead. Why put it out anyway? It won't make any sense.
Right. And he made another comment saying that if that record would have came out, it would have never been no comeback for Tupac.
Yeah, of course he got to say that. At the end of the day, like, I think, that's how hip hop was back in the day. You diss,
So yeah, so according to the response shot for what I read, it's supposed to call Dead and Alive Part 1 for what I read. So I don't know if it's out or not, or it's been leaked yet. So I might have to check it out. If it's out though, I might do a reaction of that. So that's supposed to be the response track to Tupac, but Tupac already died and passed away because he died in '96 in Vegas. So yeah. So that's basically the situation behind that. So nothing said after that because Pac passed away, got killed, and JayZ moved on for his career. So I'm gonna give my thoughts about this whole situation between Tupac and JayZ. Now, the way I took it though, because everybody took it like Tupac was like a bully. He was going after everybody that was affiliated with Bad Boys and Biggie. The way I look at it, I think Tupac felt like JayZ was taking sides of Biggie's side. That's Tupac looked at it that way, because Pac and Biggie had their own beef because the whole the Quad Studio incident, because he felt like Biggie didn't have his back or let him know who was behind the robbery. Which I'll do a video about that, the whole Tupac versus Biggie what happened video. So I'm not gonna get into that though. So the Tupac JayZ situation, I think when he felt like because Biggie was taking shots at Pac on his own record, so he felt like JayZ was taking sides of that. So he's taking shots at him on that though. But my thing is, why didn't JayZ respond back to Pac when Pac was alive though? That's the big question though. I want to know though, why didn't he respond back? Because that would be a good battle to see. Tupac, JayZ going at it, that would have been a good battle to see, dude. But JayZ never did that. Because I know Prodigy did an interview some years back because he felt like Prodigy felt like JayZ wasn't saying that when the whole East Coast West Coast going at it, he was quiet, silent the whole thing. Then when Pac Biggie passed, he started saying something. Cause I know he had a song was called I forgot what song it was when he said New York been solved ever since Snoop King crusted the buildings. So he felt like JayZ was saying crazy stuff when Pac and Big were gone, not during. So that would have been a good battle to see. It Tupac JayZ went at it. When I wish JayZ would have released that diss track when Pac was alive though. That would be a good battle to see though. So I think maybe JayZ was scared. I'm not saying he was. I'm saying maybe because Tupac was wrong with Suge a lot. Maybe Suge's people might go at JayZ something. I don't know. I can't say. That would have been interesting if JayZ do an interview about that though. So yeah, so that's this video of the what happened video. Let me know in the comments what you think about this whole situation. You think Jay should release that? Think Jay should release that diss track when Tupac was alive? I want to know what y'all think though, because I will be doing the Tupac versus Biggie what happened video. So be on the lookout for that though. And let me know what you think about Tupac's Bomb first. Think that was a good diss track? Think it was hard? I think it was a good record though, because Tupac was going at everybody. So make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.